Hello. As a consequence of attending a emergency planning meeting at East Suffolk District Council on Monday, I've reflected very much on what we were told as a community back in 2010, 2011 about the need to replace the existing, certainly under-maintained groin field that we have and replace it with a rock groin field. Many less of them, but it was sold on the basis that it would retain and build the beach. After due process, the Environment Agency funded it to the tune of £10 million, and Mott MacDonald, I think, were the design specialist, gave the contract to, I think, a Dutch company, and they duly arrived and they loaded up all these rocks and they did all the bits and they went all the way from below the spar down towards the pier all the way up to Jacob's Ladder. Now they charged the beach, they went off with all their heavy lift kit, disappeared. So a few years went by and sadly the beach level didn't rise as was indicated during the public consultation. In fact, it fell a bit, and then I understand there was a biggish storm which took out quite a bit of the beach, and it would appear that was what, sort of five years or so ago. The consequence was that down near the spar, the beach huts that were there were deemed to be unsafe on the little remaining sand that there was, so they were put opposite way round onto the prom in the hope, I think, that the beach would duly at some point replenish itself. Well, here we are, 5 years later, the beach, needless to say, has not replenished itself. So the question I'm asking, and it was asked by a councillor at this extraordinary planning meeting that I went to on Monday, was, has the actual beach protection scheme that we purchased for £10 million, has it failed? Now, that question wasn't asked once, it was actually asked twice, but there wasn't any really significant answer given.
Any questions for Laura? Councillor Deacon.
Yeah, thank you. This is really a question of going back right from the start and to why the beach huts at the spa were actually placed on the promenade in the first place. I seem to remember that several years ago we paid an awful lot of money to have fresh measures put in place to stabilise our beach, and the beach was refurbished. Is this an admission that those measures were, in fact, had failed?
You can't hear you very well. That's right. Did you hear that all right, Laura?
I did, yes. I mean, in terms of the beach replenishment at the spa, I mean, this is something that coastal management do, and they have said that they maintain it as an amenity beach. An amenity beach is for all users. Obviously, the issue we have of getting beach huts back onto sand platforms there is having enough material to create a platform that sits 1 centimetre or less below the height of the prom. Obviously, in that location at the spa, there are steps down and ramps down to the beach, no matter what level it is. So, and from that point of view, it is not suitable for beach huts, but it's obviously amenity beach for all other beach users. In terms of obviously the site at Clifflands, it is a high beach in that current location, and obviously the step down is minimal. So we have the sand platform, we have the sand available to create that flat, stable platform for huts to go onto.
Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know whether you actually heard me or not, but what I said was, is this an admission of a failure of the system that we had installed several years ago?
It's not material to
But I think it is, actually. I'm asking why are the...
I don't know if it's for the officer to have to answer that question.
Who else would I ask?
I think it's unfair to ask the officer that question.
That's the key question.
Andy, oh, Andy's here. Andy, can you answer that question?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I mean, I think I'll answer it quite simply by saying no, it isn't. It's a reaction to changing circumstances. The building of the beach platform worked well, and it worked well for some time whilst there was sufficient beach material far enough, up the beach within the groins. There are people who know more about this than I do, but my understanding is that the beach material has now moved further offshore, still between the groins, but it's way offshore. So there is not enough material to build the annual platform, and that's the problem. So it isn't failure, it's a reaction to changing circumstance.
It wasn't an accusation, so I don't want it taken that way. I just want an explanation of the reason why it happened.
Yeah, you did ask, was it a failure? And I didn't think that Laura was the right officer to ask that question. Okay, any other questions?
Now, assuming it has failed, does that mean all of the folks who are inconvenienced by us having no beach in various parts along our frontage, do they have the right to go to the local government ombudsman with regards to loss, etc., that they may suffer as a result of not having a pitch for their beach hut to be on? So the question, and we will be doing a bit more research on this, is: are the beach huts that we have in Felixstowe adequately and properly protected? Have all the options on how you could provide new and more appropriate pitches? And equally, I don't know whether you're aware of it, but apparently there have been beach hutches in the location of the Spar, before even the Spar was there, since Victorian times. And are we going to allow that sort of a level of history disappear from our town? So there's an ongoing debate. I think it will probably become much fuller. We'll try to keep you up to date on it. Bernard will do his avid research all over the place, and welcome to the Beach Hut story here in Felixstowe in March of 2022. And did we waste, or did we pay £10 million for a failing system?